In this class, as we end, we should be able to define technology and then discuss the factors affecting the transfer of technology. This bears very close similarity with what we've discussed in innovation transfer, and we expect you to grab this a bit more faster. Let's now look at technology. We define technology as the application of scientific knowledge to the practical aims of human life, as it is often said that every society can only grow through the application of science. So technology reflects the fabrics of society as we see in social norms, values, beliefs, and attitudes of the people. Those society is entirely devoid of the technology, and the dynamism of technology reflects the extent to which the society is open. So that's how we try to define technology. We look at indigenous technology as part of the indigenous knowledge system and the call to protect the rights of indigenous people, which have become a part of the emerging areas in agricultural extension. Indigenous technologies will include those technologies that are native to certain individuals, certain societies, which may be found among people of common ancestry. Example, the use of mortar to grind pepper among the Igbos of the southeastern Nigeria is an indigenous technology. It's good that as we copy and transfer technology from several places, that we also beware not to destroy our own indigenous knowledge. However, also we must say that the use of indigenous knowledge may also limit the scope of agricultural activity and likewise the yield, which oftentimes is not enough for farm families. It's important that a balance be struck. Remember in AEE 311, we discussed the concept of drudgery in farm production, where the farmer puts in so much labor only to have a very poor yield. As we go on, we want to discuss the factors that affect technology transfer. In discussing these factors, we'll be looking at six different factors. These six factors will start with client related factor. This refers to the beneficiary or community that an extension agent is introducing the new technology to. The major clientele of extension officer is the farmer, as we've always said, and then some of the client-related factors that will influence technology transfer will include level of knowledge about the new technology, then traditional bound behavior, common, especially among rural adults. Some of these factors arise through other characteristics of the clients and may be traced to the socioeconomic environment in which he operates. When an individual feels less secure, change is often feared as he or she considers the extent of safety nets available before venturing into an entirely new area. What we're saying is that if you have observed, when innovations are introduced with insurance policies, the rate of acceptance will always be higher than when it is introduced without insurance policies. And for those entrenched in tradition and its system of production, resources available are usually limited, leaving no room for adjustment or risk taking. If resources are so limited, the tendency to take risk is always minimal. In fact, at its barest minimal, because farmers will take risk if they are sure of safety nets. Now, let's discuss the provider related factors. You will agree with us that lack of knowledge among providers, among program managers and policymakers may also be an obstacle to the introduction of new technology in agricultural development programs. Providers sometimes providers sometimes may not have clear understanding of the role of the new technology, and then they may be reluctant to provide the new technology, given that they do not have a sufficient training or they have personal bias towards the technology or their own belief or value system. Providers may also be anxious about safety and risk. So, when these factors are present among providers, it will affect the technology transfer. The support of the providers is the commencement of technology transfer, and it's very important because it determines the active interest shown in the direction of the client. It will also determine the sequence in which the components of the technology will be transferred in a way to benefit and enhance adoption. Here we're saying that the policymakers have the responsibility to shop for sustainable and beneficial technology for target systems. We discuss cultural factors. The influence of traditional settings, religious groups may also oppose or support technology transfer. Influence that is connected to politicians, policymakers, agricultural workers, local councillors, and even the media. Certain technology may be especially controversial since they may be wrongly perceived as a taboo. Technology transfer requires an understanding of the target system before it can occur. Very, very crucial. We've also discussed this when we looked at factors, the social factors affecting innovation transfer. This will provide information about how the system operates, including the value system, power structure, and the amount of dislocation that will be expected as a result of its adoption. Every technology that is adopted, that is transferred and adopted, will always bring about one or two displacements. But what we look at oftentimes more is the extent of the displacement. So if the displacement or other changes that the transfer will be bringing is going to be too drastic for the system to accommodate, then the manner of introduction will have to be revised to minimize the damages. Otherwise, alternatives should be adequately prepared. Product related factors. Here we are now trying to discuss product cost or the opportunity cost of using such technology. Of course, we know that the focus in technology transfer is to ensure that there's an improvement in the livelihood of the farmers. So when we discuss product related factors, the focus here should be to ensure compatibility of the technology and to responsibly introduce one that will really be beneficial to users. As much as possible, uh, dependence on other people or the technology may be minimized to the extent that we can, so that the technology is not hampered by extraneous factors beyond its design. These are the issues that we look at under product related factors. Under service quality, we are looking at when individuals or communities decide where to go for services or technology. The factors that will come into consideration will include their perception of the quality of the service provided, the cost of the services, the attitude of the personnel of the services, the extent to which privacy is ensured and anonymity, when required, guaranteed, the availability of supplies and other needed services at the same place, the distance to alternative services, and the experiences of the pairs. These factors cannot be overemphasized. Now we look at the method related factor. Under method related factor, when the client decides which of the variety of methods offered, the one he or she will be using, they will take a number of factors into considerations, and these factors will include the effectiveness of the method, the side effects of the method. For instance, some persons believe that the use of chemical fertilizers can bring about a reduction in soil fertility. The safety of the method, cultural and religious acceptability, the mode of administration, the ease and frequency of administration, reversibility, the need for close expert supervision, and the cost. So this is where we would end this particular session. We hope that the next class will be discussing ethics of technology transfer. Thank you for your time.